Is your doctor a healer or a dealer? Let's talk about that just a little bit today. Hello everyone, Semi-Retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. If you're new to the channel, welcome. What you're watching is you're watching me walk. I know that doesn't seem exciting, but a little over 2.5 years ago I couldn't do this. I could barely stand for a couple minutes without severe pain. Now I'm out here walking every day in any kind of weather. It's 15 degrees out here. For those of you that have been watching for a while, I got my new hat and its liner so I can pull that up if the wind gets to be too much. But of course that's going to make my glasses fog up and harder for you to hear me. So hopefully I won't have to use that feature very often. But, you know, when it's cold and windy and I turn into the wind, I may need that. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. It means a lot to me that you spend just a few moments of your day with me. I would like to ask everyone to help me out just a little bit. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Drop down in the comments and say, "Hi, Bob." And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. All these things are absolutely free, and it helps me get the word out that it's never too late to change your life. I am 61 years old, and I'm doing things I couldn't do when I was 40. Like out here walking every day in any kind of weather. It's actually supposed to get up to about 19 today, and this is the warm day of the next few days. We're supposed to get down to negatives tonight and barely break out of the single digits over the next couple of days. So I'm glad I've got my face guard and my new hat. I like to keep Sunday's videos a little bit on the short side, so we're just going to walk down to the corner and back. But let's talk about this thing. Is your doctor a healer or a dealer? What's the first thing if you have a pet and you have to take that pet to the vet for whatever happens to be going on? What's the first thing your vet usually asks? What have you been feeding it? How is it eating? The vet wants to know what you've been feeding your pet. When was the last time you went to a doctor's office and they started the conversation with, what have you been eating? Mine never has. My cardiologist and I have talked about it a little bit, but back when I was going to a primary care physician, he had no interest. All he wants to talk about is prescriptions that will cover whatever symptom you might be having for whatever condition you might have. You know, let's take type 2 diabetes, for example. The first thing they want to talk about is metformin. And there are several other drugs out there. And if it gets bad enough, they want to start talking about insulin injections without ever saying, why don't we just stop eating sugar and see what happens? Whatever your case might be. You know, I had high blood pressure, out of control high blood pressure. And every time I went back and my blood pressure was still higher than he liked, Here, have this other pill. Let's make this pill a little stronger. Let's try this pill on top of it. Instead of saying, why don't we find out why your blood pressure is going up? Obviously, a good part of it was because I was so heavy. But I've known heavy people with perfect blood pressures. So there's got to be something else causing it or contributing to it. But doctors never want to talk about that. They want to talk about, here, have another pill. It makes them feel, I guess it makes them feel like they've done something for you. Instead of saying, well, why don't you cut back on this? Or why don't you try eating this instead? And maybe that will help a little bit. They never do that. Good doctors will. But unfortunately, most of them are just pill pushers anymore. So it's up to us to take control of our health. We need to read everything we can read, watch all of the videos that are out there. I mean, there are tons of doctors on YouTube, and there are, oh boy, there's the wind. Sorry if you can't hear me, but that wind is really cold. But you just have to, I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. It's like it needs a little something to keep it covered. Whew. That wind is something else. Now I completely forgot where I was. But that's one of the things I wanted to comment on today, very briefly. I can't do that right now. I'll put that up when I do longer walks and I'm not talking. I'll just have to suffer through this. But you'll notice at the start of all of my videos, it says, I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical advice. Please consult your doctor before starting any diet or exercise program. We're going by the house here real quick, down to the other corner and back. That's something I have to put on every video. But unless you have one of the good doctors, if you have a healer instead of a dealer, then perhaps you can consult your doctor before starting any diet or exercise program. You definitely want to do the research, whether it be reading or watching YouTube doctors like Dr. Berry, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Fung, Dr. Baker, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Mason. The list just goes on and on and on and on. But if you've got a dealer for a doctor, that's probably not the best place to get your information before you embark on a diet or exercise program. Just remember to do it carefully and make sure you know what you're doing. Like I always say when I walk up that hill fast, add new exercises slowly so you don't hurt yourself. Because getting injured will set you back and maybe even make things worse for you. So take it slow and easy, but also realize that most doctors out there are just pill pushers. They've got what? 4.5 to 7 minutes to spend with you when they walk through that door. Be your own advocate. Learn everything you can learn. And if your doctor is just a dealer, why are you still going to him? Am I saying don't go to doctors? No. I'm not allowed to say that. But I can tell you that I haven't been to a primary care physician in almost 2 years now, after seeing one pretty much every 3 months for 15, 20 years. I think doctors still have their place, but the good ones can become your partner in helping you along your health journey. Most of them, of course, are just pill pushers. And unless something really hurts, if you can tell. If you need to go to a doctor for something, you can tell. You don't need to go to the doctor every time you get a sniffle. But that's just my opinion, of course. But anyway, that's all I really wanted to say today. This is going to be a quick video because it's Sunday. I hope everyone is still pushing forward on World Carnivore Month. Have a great day, everyone. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, and every day. I will see you in the next one.